Welcome to the Penny Pinchers Podcast. You are live with Dagger and the Jimmy J. It is April 17th, and we have a 7-game slate for you today. We're going to take you through all of the hot plays, the cold plays, who we're going to stack and who we're going to stack against. And we are looking good today. We do have a little bit of weather news just in case. Dagger, how you doing today?
Happy to be here, Jimmy. Happy to get the pod back. Had some technical difficulties over the last couple days, but we're back at it today, ready to go.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. It's been some mean old good weather in North Carolina. I'm ready to bang today. Yesterday, we nailed our locks of the day, but Steven Matz, let me tell you, man, regrets.
You don't have to say anything. He didn't get any outs.
Like, literally no outs.
Yeah,
and all
no.
started with an error.
It's okay. They only had 3 errors in the inning, but still he recorded 0 outs.
Yeah, no, it was depressing. I don't think I've ever seen a negative 15 thrown up.
Yeah, that's rough.
But that's okay, man. It happens.
He made my Scott Kingery play look very, very good, though.
Yeah, dude. It's funny because I was all about him, too. All right, man. Tell me what we got for weather news before we even jump into today.
Yeah, I went through and looked earlier. Looks like Minnesota's not going to play. They have an 85% chance of rain up there in Minnesota, so they're playing. I'm drawing a blank. Toronto. There we go. I knew it was a North team. So Toronto's at Minnesota with 85% chance of rain. They don't have a dome, so we're gonna have to watch that getting closer to lineup block 8 o'clock. And also Arlington, Texas, the Rangers and the Angels. That's gonna have like a 60% of thunderstorms from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. So with that being a divisional game, that's another one we're gonna have to watch for heavy rains and a possible reschedule later on in the season. So that those 2 games could really affect tonight's 7-game slate. The MLB's been putting some games during the day on Monday, which is making it tough for us DFS guys to hit these late slates. And now with a little bit of weather, we're kind of looking at a 5-game slate here if we want to be safe. So that's really all I got for weather, though.
All right, awesome. Then let's jump right on in the pitchers with today. Then it's looking more like a 5-game slate than a 7, but we're still going to give you plays because you never know with the weather if things are going to open up. Starting off with our pitchers, we're starting right off at the top. Really like Cole Hamels against Miami. Miami is just they're being the Miami that they should be, and as you can see, Quintana yesterday was our lock of the day, and he definitely showed out. This Miami team is just bad. Another guy I really like today is Kevin Gausman from the Braves.
Gausman.
Is it Gausman? Gausman. I just can never pronounce names right. Really like him. He pitched decent his last game. Didn't get a lot of fantasy points overall, just because he had a couple walks, earned runs, but he balled out
against. He's a strikeout dominant pitcher, so that's where his points are going to come from.
Yeah, so I'm really liking the Arizona chance today. He's at home, so had a couple more. Not the best pitching slate today. There's a lot of guys on here I'm not a fan of. Samardzija's on there. You take a shot at him. Washington does strike out a lot. Doesn't help the fact I think they faced the Mets a couple times, so I mean that's going to boost your strikeouts up a lot. So, if you want to take a chance on a guy like Alcantara against the Cubs who strike out a lot, that's cool. He's a true 50-50 play. He's either going to play amazing or he's going to play terrible. And he's in Miami. Park's a little bit bigger. The other guy I really like is Wade Miley, man. He pitched really good against Oakland last time. He's going to give you a decent floor as long as he doesn't face like Seattle. He got kind of roughed around, but he only gave up 3 earned runs, just didn't have any strikeouts. So Wade Miley might be a guy you want to plug in for cheap to build elsewhere. Anything else you like today, Dagger?
Yeah, so off the top, obviously Cole Hamels had a great start against the Angels last time. He's going on to Miami, which is a far better ballpark than Chicago to play in. So he should just live right up to that 9,400 price. He's almost the chalk play of the night for starting pitchers as that goes. I really like Kevin Gausman against Arizona at home. Kind of a guy that if he can make it through 7 innings, he's probably going to strike out 8 or 10 guys tonight and return a lot of value on 8,600. He's exactly 800 less than Hamels. So either one of those guys, depending on how you want to move your salary around, would be great. As I come down the list, I mean, you got the Shark, who was great against Colorado, Jeff Samardzija, but I really have no interest. I might even try to stack a little bit against him. Washington's been hitting the ball really well with all those lefties and then Rendon. So that's kind of a spot that I might take a shot on. Washington at home. I love Alcantara again against Chicago. Big arm, and he made a couple mistake pitches against Philly. He was clean through 4 innings, and then he had a bad fifth where he gave up like 5 or 6 runs, and that was really it for him. But he struck out 6, and he's at home again. And if he can get some command of that off speed slider and really start dotting up that fastball, he's going to be a fantasy asset as we go forward. You got the Montas and Wiley show out in Oakland. That's tough. That game is either going to be a 0-0 game for quite a while, or they might just blow the top off it. Both teams have the abilities to go either way, so I might have to fade both of them, even though they really have some friendly prices, 68 and 6,600. But an interesting name, and I don't personally like this play, but Jeremy Hellickson. San Francisco can't hit.
I literally left him off just for you. I wanted to see if you were still going to hate on him even versus San Francisco, but I
don't like him.
Written down.
I don't like him, but he had 25 against the Phillies. I mean,
right now, you got to feel promising after that.
6 Ks and 4 walks.
He's at home.
Yeah, he's at home, and he's playing San Francisco, and they can't hit. Like,
yeah,
I think you almost have to put Jeremy Hellickson in.
I was thinking the same thing. I just wanted to see if you were going to say it.
I didn't want to, but you didn't, so I figured there was a reason.
Oh, yeah, and I just wanted to see if you were going to go against everything you believe in. There's a couple guys you have like that.
Yeah. I don't like him. I think he's a bad pitcher, but in tonight's slate, 5 games, it makes it kind of tough. I think you're gonna find yourself putting some Jeremy Hellickson in.
I was gonna say, like I said, I'm probably gonna get rained out, but I didn't realize Lance Lynn was pitching that well to start the year. I'm not a Lance Lynn believer.
His arm has come back. He has some like 94, 95 the other day when I was watching him pitch against I want to say it was Arizona. He wasn't great, but Lance Lynn throwing 95 is kind of St. Louis news.
I really might keep my eye on that and see if it ends up playing.
Like I said, it's not actually rain, it's thunderstorms. So obviously that comes with rain, so it can either come through or pass. So that's going to be a tight one, that Texas LA.
Yeah. Anything else you have from pitchers? Like I said, it's not the biggest slate, so it's not going to take us as long to bust through some of these positions.
Yeah, pitchers is going to be kind of, everyone's going to have the same thing, high owned percentage. So you just got to get the guy that's going to get you 20.
Exactly, yeah. Right, moving on to catchers then. Like I said, it's tough. I'm trying to avoid weather games, but Mitch Garver's been playing really well for Minnesota. If you want to plug him in at 4,300. Josh Begley's another name. He's been playing really good. He's 2 for 3 in his career against Miley with a double. Again, as you guys know, we're pretty dominant about paying down for catchers. But lately, honestly, it's been tough. Every time I look on a slate, everyone's buying high on these catchers, and they're just going off. Top of the catcher slate is really good, but I'm just.
Realmuto had 34 last night.
Who? Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Another guy, he is 0 for 6 against Godley, but Godley has just been very ungodly this year. And I like Flowers, man. Flowers been playing good ball. He's really taken a step this year. He's not putting up crazy numbers per game, but he's getting on base. He's going to give you some points for a catcher. Is there anyone else you really like, Dagger? It's really,
a guy that I like is Kurt Suzuki, and he doesn't really do much, but he can get us within that 5 to 12, 8 to 12 point bracket we're looking for. He's got some margin. He's 3,700, which is a super fair price. I think Washington has a good day today. They're due to put up a crooked number. On the pivot, I really don't know how I'm not going to play Jorge Alfaro tonight against Cole Hamels. I think Alfaro was hitting 4th last night, and he's hitting 310. He's a guy that is kind of the anchor of this team, being the catcher of this young staff. Cole Hamels is got good stuff, but he's susceptible to the home run. So if Alfaro kind of gets into one, that could be a good day for you. And lastly, if you had to go cheap, you might be able to get away with Chad Wallach. He's also a catcher for Miami, but they've been playing him out of position. But he's just a guy that every day he plays, he gets a hit, and if he gets either a double or a homer or something, he's 3,300. He's a little bit cheaper. I think today you're either going to have to spend mid-price for a catcher. You're going to be kind of handcuffed to what they got.
Yeah, no, it's just not crazy about it. Again, like, Minnesota's probably getting rained out. And usually Astudillo's in there too. It's just someone you can take. He hasn't been playing well though lately.
Yeah, you're kind of in trouble today with Tampa too because Tampa's going with the starter, and
I hate that crap. Yeah,
actually, I looked at DK earlier, and they don't call him a pitcher anymore. They call him a PO, a pitcher opener.
yeah, I saw that. I thought that was good.
So, but yeah, Stanek in the pen today, so it's gonna be a tough day to play Orioles, even though they are very good.
So like I said, I mean, you can obviously buy in on Contreras, but knowing that he's facing a pitcher that could either go off or go on, you know, it might not be worth paying that up when you can pay other positions. You want to move on to first base?
Correct.
All right, I am pretty big, starting right at the top, man. Freddie Freeman's just a great ball player. 3 for 7 with a home run and double against Godley. Moving on, I did write down Mancini. Mancini can play outfield or first base. Again, it's tough facing that bullpen of the Rays. Just the way they do it. It's tough to face a different guy basically every time you come up to bat. Who else I had? He's starting to heat up. They gave him the day off yesterday, but again, it's not looking good weather-wise. But CJ Cron's starting to get it going. He played really well with the Rays last year. He's starting to finally get into a little groove. He's hit a couple homers. And then dude that I'm plugging in, dirt cheap today, man. He's only 3,900. Matt Adams. Matt Adams is 5 for 10 versus Samardzija in his career with 2 dubs and 3 home runs. Like, you have to think that he's going to keep that magic rolling if you're going to be that hot against a guy. Is there anybody else you really like in today, Dagger, first base?
Yeah, when you went to 3,900, I wasn't even looking at Adams because he's rocking the day-to-day with an ankle, but I was looking at Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt went bridge last night, and he's got a matchup with Hellickson, who he's not great against, but not bad. 3 for 8, so a 375 clip, all 3 singles. But Belt, he's a guy that could get like 2 or 3 dongs tonight. I mean, Washington's a good, friendly hitting park. And if Belt hits like top 4 of that San Francisco order, and Hellickson likes to give up the long ball, he likes to get hit around. So Belt's a guy at 3,900 I like. You can't go wrong with Mark Canha either. For some reason, he's been starting off the year pretty decent, and Oakland continues to hit him in the top of the order, middle of the order. So I don't think he's going to do well against Miley, but he's 3,900. It's a pretty fair price. Another guy that I don't really like, but he's out there, is Neil Walker. It's tough because he's not really good at baseball, but for some reason he always has that opportunity to go bridge. And then Martin Prado is 21 for 65 against Hamels in his career, and he's only 3,400. So I don't really like playing any Miami players today. Maybe I'll take a shot on Alfaro, but Prado is probably your best bet for cheap plays. Other than that, I like the Matt Adams call.
Like I said, I double checked it and it said he got pulled Saturday.
Yep.
He actually pinch hit yesterday and hit a home run.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
so, I'm assuming if you're that hot against a specific pitcher, like you have to plug you into the lineup, right?
I mean, that's the Kingery aspect. That's exactly what happened last night. Kingery owns Steven Matson's career. He got put in and he paid it forward big time. But yeah, I mean, you'll see that a lot with this new analytics thing with baseball. They're trying to get the guys that, all right, you got a good average against this pitcher. We'll throw you in there tonight and hopefully you can stay hot.
That's right. Anything else you have from first base?
Yeah, Freddie Freeman's probably the chalk of the night. He's probably the best play in the slate.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't know. No, I'm probably gonna take the Adams route and hope that he just has a good day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you can spend down, you can. But if you have to spend up, I mean.
Right. You want to move over to second base?
Yep.
All right. Starting right at the top again, man. We have Jose Altuve at 4,900. He's 5 for 10 in his career versus Montas with a double. Another guy, Brad Lau. It's actually Lau. I always say Low.
Brandon
Lau. Oh, son of a biscuit. Brandon Lau. Every time I put him into my lineup, and then every time for whatever reason, I spend down in second base, take him out, and he just goes off. He's just a guy. He's playing great baseball. He's playing Hess. Hess is not a good pitcher. He had that one unreal game against the Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays are basically a AAA lineup. I also like VR 4,400 second base and shortstop. He's playing against that Rays bullpen, but VR's he's just been producing all year. Had a couple other guys. Ozzie Albies starting to heat up again. I just don't like Godley. I think he's a terrible pitcher. I think the Braves are going to smack today. Howie Kendrick finally kind of came back down to earth yesterday. He went 0 for 2. Actually, had the day off, so. But, he's still batting over 500, I think, unless he just dipped under. Yeah, he's down to 471 now. 4,300 against Samardzija. You got to like him for 43. I had one more guy. I had Jonathan Scope. He's at, I think, 4,100. He actually got the day off yesterday. I love playing guys after they have a day off. Just, I don't know what it does. It, resets their brain. Anybody else you like for second base?
Yeah, spending down. Joe Panik's not a bad play. He's 3,300 this afternoon, 3 for 9 against Jeremy Hellickson. I don't really want to attack Jeremy Hellickson because I don't think San Francisco is good, but they have a couple decent bats in there. You also got Starlin Castro against Cole Hamels, another guy who I don't think you could, I'm going to continue to say I don't think you can get away with playing Miami guys, but he hits third against a left-handed pitcher, and he's been good against lefties in his career. So 3,300 is a pretty fair pay down price. On my way back up, I saw a couple names. If this kid Daniel Robertson from Tampa gets going, you'll like to hit him in the top 3 of that order. He's been pretty bad this year. He's got Hess tonight, so maybe he could get going. Dozier's a name we got to continue to put out there because at some point of this summer, Brian Dozier's going to start hitting the ball hard again. He's got Samardzija. He hits in the top of a lineup of Washington that's going to be very fast and efficient all season. So at 3,700, maybe today's the day. One more is Profar, Jurickson Profar from Oakland. He went for 1, I think it was, in his first matchup with 2 walks against Miley. So he's another one that I don't like playing him, but he's available today in a tough slate. And lastly, I don't think you could go wrong with taking a shot on Ozzie Albies at 4,300 against Godley. He's got 3 straight double digits games, 3 straight 2-hit games. And I love the fact that if Ozzie Albies gets on early in the game, he's going to take off and steal you a base or 2. So the way the Braves are hitting today, this might be a great stack of Braves day.
Yeah, amen to that. Anything else you have from second base? Ready to move on to third?
Yeah. I was really trying not to say the name Brandon Lau, but go ahead, move on before I do.
Okay.
Every time I have the Brandon Lau thought, it just doesn't end well because I don't play him and he hits 2 homers into the 3rd tank in Toronto.
You're so right. But third base, we're going to start again. We're starting right off at the top. Rendon, man, it's so hard to fade. He was cheap for a while, and they finally okay, you're
13-game hit streak.
That's what I thought, man. He just keeps doing it. Just put up great points. The chances of him putting up double digits, he's only put up 7 the last 3 straight days. But it's just tough to fade. If you have the money, you might as well buy him. He's going to show out. Another guy I've down, he's 2 for 3 in his career against Godley. It's not huge statistical numbers, but Donaldson, he bats second in that Braves lineup. He's in just a prime position to either at least score runs or to knock people in. It's funny. He's only 4,100, and I actually did my my cheat sheet for today. I was filling out players, and I literally said they dropped Alex Bregman down to 4,100. If you want to take a shot on him today, go ahead. I checked back at an hour later at the games last night, and I'm like, oh, Bregman hit a grand slam. So I was like, man, if Bregman's starting to heat up, 4,100, take a shot on him. Go right ahead. If he's actually going to come alive. He is batting 300 still. He's just not doing anything.
He missed a few games, so his stats are a little skewed. He came up lame with a hammy last week, and he missed about 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, so maybe he's starting to come back into his own. 4,100. I'm all about taking a shot on Alex Bregman for 4,100. Those are really the only third baseman I had written down. I always take Yandy Diaz, and he has not done anything for me the last 3-4 times I've taken him. Yeah, I've gotten 6, 0, 2, and 0 from him. I got to take a break from Yandy. Is anybody else you like at third base?
Looking all the way at the bottom, I don't think I would spend too far down because it's a pretty solid position today with everything else lacking. Brian Anderson, I played him last night. He was kind of tough for me. He's got another
Yeah.
lefty matchup with Cole Hamels. We talked about it the other day. Brian Anderson, if he gets hot, he's going to be a guy we can look at to attack lefties only. I don't think he's a real right-on-right asset, but he's got Cole Hamels, who I said earlier is susceptible to the long ball, so maybe hitting second in Miami can get you some value at 3,600. I really like Camargo if he plays for the Braves at 3,900 against Godley. He's only hitting 241, but most of the days that he actually starts, he's been producing pretty well. So one of the cheaper Braves guys that you could get away with playing. You got Pinder and Chapman against Miley. Neither guy I'm really super in love with, but yet again, you got the lefty righty, and this time they're in Oakland, so maybe they get some extra juices flowing. Bregman's never a bad play. He's hit in the middle of a Houston lineup, and when that lineup starts cranking, it's going to be a long summer for whoever has to travel to Houston. Eddie Escobar, another guy at 4,100. He's on the road today, so I don't like him as much, but he's a switch hitter, hits in the middle of Arizona's lineup. And a guy that I really like, and I know you touched on this, but Josh Donaldson, he's going to get going. I watch that Met series almost every game, every at bat for him, and he's back. He's letting the ball get deep. He's not getting beat on the hands. He's not getting beat with off speed, and I think he's going to start heating up here. He's going to live up to that contract, and I just love playing Atlanta today against Godley. I think they're just going to beat the wheels off him.
Oh yeah.
And Arizona doesn't have much in their pen either, so once they get him out of there, they're just going to keep growing. Rendon, I mean, you can't go wrong with Rendon either. Third baseman's tough today. I feel like I could fit three guys in here, but they're not dual eligibility. So
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you do have for third base? You want to move over to shortstop?
nope.
All right, if we are sliding up to shortstop, starting off, man, he is just on fire. He's another guy I had it kind of plugged into my lineup. Basically, a Dames getting called out like super late yesterday messed up my entire lineup. Don't want to talk about it. I hit my plays that I really wanted, but everyone else that I had to swap out because I couldn't buy low at shortstop anymore really screwed me. But Jorge Polanco, one of those guys, like I said, I was huge on him yesterday. Just couldn't fit him after it was all said and done. Sure enough, it's a home run. He is, and he's batting over 400. He's just balling out to start the year. Another guy I really like, sticking with that Braves line, Dansby Swanson, man, just gets it done. He kind of bats towards the end of that lineup, but he is just on a different planet right now. He's batting 292. He's starting to kind of become the player that they. I mean, they traded Shelby Miller for him. Like Diamondbacks are just dumb as dirt. You gotta love Swanson. Not I just said Swanson. Galvis at 4,300. You have Correa at 43. He's 4 for 6 with a home run. I was gonna say, my boy Dames. I love him from Tampa. It sucks that he bats 9, but he keeps setting the table for Meadows. If you want to do like a little 9-1 stack of Dames and Meadows, that's cool. They're facing Hess. And Willie's only 3,700. Just does a little bit of everything. Anybody else you like for short?
Wilmer Defoe at 3,400 against Samardzija. He's 3 for 8 with a pair of doubles. Other than that, I was looking through as you were calling yours out, and I didn't see much. I mean, Brandon Crawford used to be able to hit the ball when he was younger. Now he's just a really, really good glove. He's got Hellickson, but I'm not even taking a shot. Tough spot with all these injuries. Sorry, not injuries. These weather delays and stuff. So the shortstops that I normally would play are going to get rained out most likely. Yeah, I think I'm going to chalk up Correa today and eat the 4,300 price and see if he can't drive in some runs against Montas tonight. Unless, I mean, Baez, we got to mention him because he's just a really good all-around ball player, and he's actually cruising right now. He got real hot. 3 hits in his last 3 games each, so he's probably as hot as he's going to be all year, but I don't think I'm going to take a shot at 5,100. So I'm just going to move on to the outfield here, I think, and bite the bullet with Correa or somebody around that 40-something 100 price range.
All right. If we are going into our outfielders, I'm going to start right with the Braves again. Acuna is just He's another one. He's just on a different planet right now. He's just playing great. He's put up double digits in
8.
8 straight games. Like, you can't stop him right now. He's hitting everything. He's just got great plate discipline. He's not chasing pitches like I don't know. He is just an all around. Sometimes guys have like the sophomore slump. Nah, dude, he is so locked in because Soto's going through the sophomore slump, but Acuna's locked in big time. Another guy, Austin Meadows, man, he finally like came back down to earth yesterday. Still had 8 points. He had a stolen base and a hit. You have to think he bounces back today against Hess. Another guy I really like is Tommy Pham. I'm really thinking about doing a 9-1-2 stack with the Rays, going to Dames, Meadows, Pham, hoping at least 2 out of the 3 just absolutely bang. Who else did I have written down? Always a couple national guys that are like they've been ranked 4,300 for a while. Is both Adam Meaton and Robles. That's another one you can do a little 9-1 stack. It sucks that Robles bats 9th, but he's a great player. I think Nationals might beat up on Samardzija. If you're trying to spend a little bit lower down for outfield, totally get it if you want to do that. I had someone else down here. Oh yeah, I had Smith Jr. Man, he's 4,200. I've yet to actually buy him. He is going against that Tampa Bull, but he's been looking really good lately. Other than actually no, he only pinch hit in that game, so I'm not even going to count that. So he's basically said 5 straight games of double digits. He's hit a few home runs. He's hit all 3 of his home runs in that time span. He's playing really good for that the Orioles team. Another guy, Enciarte is 4 for 10 against Godley in his career with a double and a triple. Markakis is 4 for 9 against him. Like the Rays just beat up Godley. Anybody else you're really liking today, Dagger?
Yeah, excuse me. I was looking through while you were going on there. I saw Josh Reddick again, and for some reason they just don't price him up. He's only 3,400. He's hitting 320 now. He went bridge last night. Decent numbers. I think he's 3 for 8 against Montas. Kind of like him for a cheap buy down. Outfield is somewhere I'm going to stack up a couple guys from a lineup. I really, really like Michael Brantley tonight. Hits 4 in the middle of Houston's lineup at 4,100. He's just going to smash tonight. I think tonight's going to be a huge game for Brantley. Camargo, you got the dual eligibility. So if he's in the lineup hitting 6 or 7 or 5, 6 or 7, I think I'm going to have to plug him in. I can't help but mention Kevin Pillar. I mean, he's only hitting $180, but ever since he got to San Francisco, he's hitting top of the order. And I think he just enjoys being in San Francisco. Toronto's kind of trapped him down, so he's playing Hellickson, who's trash. And then lastly, I'm going to make this quick on my end because you kind of went over the bigger plays, but Stephen Piscotty usually hits 3rd or 4th in Oakland's lineup. He's got Wade Miley. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single in his career. So Piscotty at home and Ciarte at home versus Godley. But I really think I'm going to stack up an outfield today and not be too risky. The weather's tough, and I think you can get away with, like you said, some of those lower lineup hitters and stack it.
No, I'm not as well. I think I'm gonna probably pay up for outfield today. It's tough. That Matt Adams play. Hopefully he does play because that's gonna mess up my lineup because I'm really gonna buy in on this whole 5 for 10 with 5 extra base hits against them. Ready to do our rundown? That was my favorite part of the day.
Yeah, this is where you make all your money. 9 for 17. Okay, yeah, give me a pitcher, Jimmy, that's gonna score 20.
I got to go with I'm gonna say it wrong, but it's not Gausman, right? It's Gausman.
Gausman.
Yeah, look at that. Kevin Gausman's my dude, man. I'm just all in on Braves today. Like Gausman's gonna ball.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you took Cole Hamels so I could take Kevin Gausman. But yeah, Cole Hamels, he's going to score 20 today. He's probably going to strike out 8 guys. He'll go 8 innings. And Miami, they got a lot of right-handed bats, but Cole Hamels looked very, very good against LA. That's not saying much. Trout didn't play and Upton didn't play, but Cole Hamels today, 20 points. Give me a pitcher you're stacking against tonight, Jimmy.
Pitcher I'm stacking against. Well, that's pretty easy. I'm going to steal it too. We're stacking against Zach Godley.
Yep, that's just an easy one.
Except that one time I made that bet.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know the Dodgers were going to be the best team in the baseball. Yeah, Jeff Samardzija for me. I think I'm going to do a little bit of Braves and Washington pivot here tonight, and I'm just going to load up with
I
them
like
guys.
that. Yeah, Smart. I don't think Smart's going to pitch well today.
No, I think I'm going to pull maybe like the same stack you got with Tampa, like a 9-1-2 Robles, Eaton, Soto, maybe sort of thing. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Give me your guy that's going to get 2 hits.
Who do I? Oh, I have Acuna written down. I think Acuna is going to have a great game.
Yeah, I like that. I just got to go to one of my personal favorite plays, and I think Josh Donaldson tonight.
I like that.
A lot of guys been sleeping on him, and like I said, I've been watching a lot of his at bats, and he's back. He's looking like he's grooving again. And tonight might be another throwback Donaldson 3 for 4 homer double sort of thing. So give me some JD tonight. All right, and this is where we try to make the money, get the viewage right here.
That's right.
Jimmy J's lock of the night for a dinger.
Nailed it yesterday, man. I called Moncada. He backed me up with 2 ding dongs. I was pretty hyped. Nothing makes me more happy than getting my home run pick right, and I have a pretty decent track record. Today my home run lock, dude, Austin Meadows is going yard.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, no, Meadows is taking Hess deep.
Yeah, that's a very, very solid play. I'm gonna stay on a weird track as far as like picking guys that are a little bit lower priced. I mean, still good names, but I think I'm gonna go with Alex Bregman. For some reason,
Okay.
Frankie Montas is a fastball dominant right-hander, and Bregman, after watching him hit that home run off of Carabas with the wiffle ball, if he gets something middle in, I think he could turn and burn tonight and maybe get a home run streak going if he goes back to Houston. You know, Oakland, they're up in Oakland, but Bregman, I think Bregman's going to go bridge tonight.
Dude, I'm about it. I like it.
But that's it for us. Make sure you leave the likes. Please subscribe. We're trying to build up the brand here. And Jimmy, plug us away here.
Yeah, thanks for checking out the Penny Pinchers podcast. Like I said, Budget Baller DFS, our Twitter handle. We're starting to get more and more stuff. We're gonna start like kind of giving you updates throughout the day while we can. We definitely want to make Twitter good. We're trying to reach out to you guys as we build a bigger repertoire and we start hitting more. We want to share the wealth with you guys. That's all. That's what I got to say.
All right, for Jimmy J, I'm Dagger, and we are out of here.
Till tomorrow.